What if Deku had Kurama Part 6? Sorry for getting this out so late. I was having a really big problem with my editing software. So, to begin, Deku and his friends, well, more likely harem, kind of like how all the girls were obsessing over Sasuke. That's kind of how they're doing it. That's kind of how they're doing it in here. So all the girls are just around him, saying, date me. They just keep doing that. He's like, geez, can one of you guys talk one at a time? And I'm going to say the leader of this thing is going to be Uraraka. So she's going to be just as annoying as Sakura was. But we all know how that came out in Boruto. So yeah. So basically, they're just sitting there, and Aizawa walks in, and he's just like, so, thanks to the sports festivals, this is your time to show people what you got, as the internships have just arrived, and we're about to show you all the people that want you. So, here are all the people that got internships and their numbers, and here are all the stack of papers of the names they got for you. Midoriya just happened to have 6,000. So, here's a stack of papers. And yeah, just go. And he tosses the paper to Midoriya. He obviously catches it. And he's like, dang, I didn't think there'd be so many people that actually want me. It's kind of funny. As he's just thinking, what should I choose? So he ends up, who should he choose? I think he's just gonna go straight to, I'm just gonna say he went to Mount Lady, just because he's like, I'm gonna go for someone nobody expect. I'm gonna say, the class just was watching him. He lays down all the papers on the floor, and he closes his eyes and just tosses a dart up, and it just so happens to land right on Mount Lady, and he's like, well, it looks like I'm going to Mount Lady's agency. And all the girls are kind of sad because none of them got Mount Lady. So time skip to when they're going to the agency. And Deku's just walking with Mineta. And he gets there. And he's like, yo. She's just like, oh, hello. Oh, I remember you. You're that kid that saved the one kid from the sludge villain. He's like, yep. And then she's like, why'd you guys choose me for them? He's like, oh, mine was at a Deku's just like, oh, mine's at a chance. I threw a dart up on all the papers and it landed on you. And Mineta's just quietly trying to scooch over, and she says, okay, well, we're not going to be doing hero work right now, so get to cleaning. She just hands them a brush. Deku's like, all right, Mineta, you ready? He doesn't really care. He did this onto himself instead of just choosing somebody normal. So he's like, if I did this, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do the the labor, as he just starts sweeping. And Mineta's like, oh, I came here to actually get some. But right now, I'm stuck with the guy who has all the fangirls. Have I ever mentioned how lucky you are? And he's like, yeah, you've been saying that for the past 3 hours. He's like, oh, I have? So they keep doing that for the next 3 days. They're just sweeping and mopping up her agency. And Deku's like, I feel like I'm oddly stronger. He's like, you haven't stopped using the broom. You took the broom when we left. You were still using it. Huh. Well, my arms are gonna be tired as hell. So Deku just keeps going along with this. And now it's the final day of the internships. And Mount Lady's like, well, you guys have worked hard enough. Well, mostly Midoriya, but it's okay, Mineta. You did an okay job. And Mineta's like, oh, she touched my head. And he's like, and Deku just like chops his head, and he's like, thank you. As they just walk out. What should Deku's hero costume be? His hero name is Baiju, which means tailed beast in Japanese. And I'm thinking, what should his hero costume be? If you guys are at this point right now, go ahead and vote down, or just go ahead and comment what his hero costume should be, and I'll just choose the one I think would fit the best with this. So they're going out on patrol, and Mount Lady's just like walking around, and Deku's like checking the alleys, and then they see a massive burst of fire, and Mount Lady's like, huh, wonder what that could be. Like, they're not trying to rush over, because they still have to patrol all through the entire alleys. And that's when Deku comes across Ida and this hero killer Stain, and he says, Mount Lady, go towards the fire. Please give me permission to use my quirk. And she's like, okay, why? And he's like, oh, the hero killer's right there. It's like Ida's like, what the hell are you talking about? He's holding a knife to my head. And he's like, the hero killer, he's over there. She's like, oh, well, you deal with that. You can use your quirk. I'm out. She just leaves, and the hero killer's like, what a fake hero. Her debut was all for money. I'll have to kill her soon, too. And Deku's like, hey, I'm not gonna let you kill anybody on my watch. And not my friends or any heroes, no matter if they're fake. And it's kind of like how Asta, like, points or something, like whenever he gets like pissed off. So Deku immediately goes his six-tailed form and charges at Stain, and Deku takes out kunais, and like they just keep exchanging blow for blow. And that's when Stain grabs part of his sword and hits Deku's hands up, and then he turns around and just inserts his sword into Deku's stomach as Deku just like falls over. If you guys have seen The Phantom Menace for Star Wars, you guys have known what I just done. That's spoiler alert, how Qui-Gon Jinn dies. So yeah, that's how Qui-Gon Jinn dies in The Phantom Menace. And Deku just like falls down, like coughing up blood. And he's like, now, time to end you. As he goes over to Ida, and like Deku's like shakily gets up and he's like, no, I'm not letting you hurt my friends. As he just lets out like a massive roar that shakes the city. And then all of a sudden a seventh tail sprouts. But this time it's not one made of pure energy. It's actually a tail. And that's when Deku goes into Sage mode, I think. I know Sage mode's like the thing with the frog eyes or something, but I'm just gonna call Sage mode when he gets covered in like that orange stuff, or the yellowish orange stuff. So he gets covered in that, and he's in Sage mode as he just jumps up with his kunais, and he's like moving so fast. And I'm gonna say he's in Sage mode with this. So he's like, he can dodge everything, kind of like how the Sharingan is. So he just keeps dodging everything. And then he punches him in the stomach. And then Deku takes his kunai and slashes it against the hero killer's face. And Deku just keeps doing this until he has a opening where he takes the kunai and sticks it into the hero killer's cheek and rips it out, so now you can see into his mouth. And that's when the hero killer's like, ah, damn it. You're gonna pay for that. As he basically just runs after him. And Deku's like, oh yeah, as he punches him down. And that's when Deku says, get some heroes to my location. I'm fighting the hero killer. As like he just texted that to Todoroki, because he knows that Endeavor was probably over there, because I think his operation is in Hosu City. And yeah, so Deku just keeps fighting, and Stain's like, you are a real hero. No matter what, you won't give up just to save these two. Now, you and All Might are the real true heroes. Now leave. I don't want to kill one of the only ones. And he's like, no, I'm not going to leave. He's my friend and the hero. I'm not going to just leave them here. As Deku charges up at Stain and punches him in the face. And then Deku, he hasn't even used any chakra yet. And that's when he does fireball jutsu and makes a fireball and sends it right at Stain. And then he says, Chidori, Rasengan. And then he puts it into both hands, kind of like how Vegeta's Gallic gun is. And then he's like, die! As he just sends a massive chakra ball of half Chidori, half Rasengan right at the hero killer. And like this, it only hits his arm, but it hits his arm and just completely burns it into ash as it falls, as he now has just a stub on his right arm as he falls over unconscious from like the sudden burst of pain he just felt. And then that's when Deku's like, I did it. And that's when all of the heroes showed up, and they're like, what the heck happened? And they see Deku holding the hero killer on one shoulder and Native and Ida on the other one of his shoulders, and he's like, the hero killer you stupid heroes couldn't have caught was just caught by a freaking kid. How do you feel about that? And like everyone just sweat drops. And that's when the police show up and Deku hands them the hero killer, saying he stopped it and all that. Then a Nomu comes straight at the sky, and he was about to grab Todoroki. And that's when Deku takes out a kunai and just throws it. It hits the Nomu's eye, and it just goes tumbling down into a building. And now let's just time skip to the hospital. Deku's there visiting Ida, and that's when the police chief walks in, and he tells Ida, and that's when Mount Lady and Mineta also walk in, and he's like, we are going to give Endeavor all the credit for using your quirks without license or permission. And that's when Deku's like, but Mount Lady gave me permission. And like the police chief turns to Mount Lady and he's like, is this true? And she just nods her head and she like gives him a thumbs up. And Deku's like, yeah, I get the credit. So that's where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. He wasn't really excited because he's not really like all the people wanting fame. And I hope you guys do like this little bit extra video. I'm not sure how much minutes extra, but usually the 10-minute videos, and this one's a pretty much bigger one. As my editing software, it just can't handle the 15 minutes anymore for some reason. But thankfully, I'm getting a new phone to run this, and once I have enough money to buy a PC, I'm going to do that, buy a microphone, and get some better editing software, better editing and stuff. See you guys. Bye.